All right. Welcome in, guys. Hey, this is Brian, aka Uncle B, and you are in here with me. Goodwood University office hours. We're doing some live coaching, and answering questions, helping guys get better every single day. Just the way you should. We talk about it all. We talk about sexual health, erection strength, overcoming ED, prostate issues. When it comes to men's performance, we got you. All right. And so, yeah, if you could go ahead and hit the comment section, let me know what's your name, where you're representing, and we're going to get into it because today we're talking about how to level 10 your sexual energy, how to get more sexual energy so you can have more fun. And that's what it's all about. It's having all of that good fun. How are you doing today? It's been a day for me. It's been a week for me. Oh man, when you're talking about men's sexual health, there are a lot of barriers, a lot of barriers. A lot of people just want you to, this man, you're talking about a penis. You can't say those things. It's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. But it is what it is. But we're going to talk about what you need to do to get to your sexual performance best. And that we're talking about having those reliable erections, erections on demand, morning erections, all of that good stuff. If you could hit me in the comment section and let me know that I'm coming through clear to you, all up in your ear to you. Yeah, we're going to talk about the sexual performance scale. Every guy needs to know this, know exactly where you are when it comes to getting your sexual health better. And we're going to talk about things that just affect guys holistically in ways that you may not think of. What's going on, Jerome? Richmond VA in the house down the street. Well, it's a good 30, 40, 50 minutes from here. Yeah. Yeah. I got to give a quick shout out to Country Living Guy. He actually took, I'm just going to read what he said. I took your advice from your videos, gave up sugar, increased my fruit and vegetable intake. I've been losing weight, getting more erections. I no longer wake up in the morning feeling like shit. Yeah. Guys, the stuff I talk about here, it does work. It does work. So let's get into it. And we're going to talk about the sexual performance scale. I talk about this a lot, but it's important to understand exactly where you are so you can, figure out what you need to do to get better. And the scale is a scale of 1 to 10. 10 means everything works. One means you need to go to the hospital. 5, 6, and 7 means you're unreliable. If you're a 1 to 4, you're in ED land. 8, 9, and 10 is what you're shooting for. You want to be there for life because that's a lot more fun. And the whole purpose of sex is to make a baby. So you're talking about energy to create energy. So you need to be at your best, especially if you're trying to have a baby. That's always important. But the higher you are on that scale, the better you are with your sexual performance. And there's benefits to being a 10. Obviously, there's better sex, there's more control, more stamina. You get to last longer. All of this stuff is for fun. No premature ejaculation or delayed ejaculation, and basically you're just in beast mode. Think of yourself as a very healthy 22-year-old. That's what it's like to have that level of sexual energy, and that's what it's like to be a 10. But there's levels to this. You can feel that sexual energy at a 9. When I say feel it, for a lot of guys as you get older, it just leaves. It doesn't, not like all of a sudden you just wake up and you don't have an erection. Typically, it's like there's hints along the way that there's an issue coming. But when you're at that 9, you can just look at a woman and you just like, oh, you ready to go, and that's a wonderful feeling, especially if you haven't had it for a while. You literally feel charged. That's the whole point of having that level of sexual energy. And this is supposed to happen. I mean, this is the whole process of procreation. And if you haven't felt that level of energy in years, it's a good feeling. Pure sexual energy is at a 10. Your testosterone is on high, your confidence is on high, you're maxed out on confidence. I mean, it's just you just know what you're doing. And when you're 5, 6, or 7, that's when you like really iffy, and you can run into problems. One day it's working, the next day it's not. One day you're really hard, the next day is sort of off. And when we talk about the we talk about the marketplace value for men as far as sex is concerned. When you is this, James, what's going on, man? Is this going to be reposted? Yeah, well, it's on YouTube, so go ahead and subscribe. It shows up in the lives. So yes, just subscribe and we'll send out the notifications for when it will be, it'll just be in the library there. So yes, yes. But yeah, the older you get, the higher you want your score. We talked the last time about the older you get, you're supposed to work harder. That's the way this game works. If you're trying to stay younger, you have to work harder the older you get. A lot of people think you just, just ride off into the sunset. That's not a sunset. That's that's just not living well. But it when we're talking about that sexual energy, we're talking about your physical, mental, and even environmental side. The physical side is, if you're just not healthy, obviously you're not going to have that level of energy, and you can look good. And when you have the sexual energy, women can tell they're paying attention to you. You actually smell and taste better. That's the thing. Because you're toxin free. And if you're constantly eating, I mean, just be literal, if you're eating dead cows or you're eating like or as compared to a fruit bowl, what comes out is reflective. You are what you eat, literally. The mental side of things, of course, is that stress-free life. You have to have that, because that stress increases the cortisol, and when cortisol goes up, it lowers your testosterone levels. So men deal with stress differently with age. And the older you get, the more you'll find this out. At 22, you take all that smoke. She's like, putting up all these different barriers, and you just running around in circles just trying to get to it. And it's like, oh yeah, that's not a problem at all. You take all the arguments and everything because you're into it. At 52, you like, fuck that. I'm sitting my ass down. I don't want to hear no more stress. You don't want to have that stress in your life. So yeah, you don't want to be dealing with Miss Stress Ball. I mean, that environmental side is huge though. When we're talking about environmental, when I was at Howard University, uh, the real HU. When I was at Howard University, man, you got women all over the place. Everybody's like, horny, trying to get at each other while pretending to study, all this other kind of stuff that was going on. And then I got my first corporate gig at AT&T. Oh my God, the shock. The shock and the almost horror. I mean, you went from like beautiful women really, just all over the place. You just, hey, everywhere you look, to you now dealing with soccer moms and ladies who are just in their 30s. They talking about 401ks, nothing sexy going on there. And so that stimulation that you used to have is no longer there. um and you need to get that stimulation, um just so that you can, it helps in the entire process. So you want that level of stimulation so you have a relationship happiness, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're waking up to miss stress ball. um, so what does it take to get to a 10? Full transparency, I dabble between that 9 and that 10 realm, and that's basically because as you get older, is it gets harder. It really does get harder. Um, and when you think about it, if you have a certain lifestyle over time, you will get to a point where you just had 500 happy hours. You have decades of eating meat, levels of ridiculous stress, from money stress to job stress to all these different things that are happening. You got tons of the white stuff coming in. I'm talking about I'm not talking about the sugar booger. I'm talking about the sugar, just the regular sugar, the regular salt. The more that you're consuming, the more problems you're going to have. And so it becomes difficult the older you get to a 10. Um, the youngest you will ever be, the youngest you will ever be is right now. That's just sort of obvious. So you have to do that work to get to a 10. That's the reason why we have the programs. We have ESIS 25s. It's the reason why we do the coaching. There's the reason why we have Goodwood, the all natural liquid aphrodisiac. Of course, you can go to givegoodwood.com to pick up yours. In fact, we have a uh, or a 20% discount right now. You want to check that out, because we're doing a challenge. So, and how long it takes to get back to where you want to be, to get from a 5 to a 10, really depends on how dialed in you are. The interesting thing, guys, is that we're talking about your body. Your body is incredible at getting back and recovering and getting better at things. And so, it's important that you are able to just, figure out your own pattern. It's like, where are you supposed to be? What are the things that you're doing that you're supposed to be doing, and stay dialed into that, guys. That's the most important thing. A lot of times people think that, I'm just going to be able to flip the switch. And it's not that you need to flip the switch. Your body can flip the switch, but your brain, it likes its patterns. And so if you have bad patterns, those bad patterns aren't going to just suddenly change. And so basically, where we are as humans right now, we're going against nature, so we have to reverse engineer nature. Um, we're supposed to be outside, sleeping on the ground, getting that charge from the earth. We're supposed to be waking up with the sun. We're supposed to, be moving constantly throughout the day instead of sitting down. So there's a lot that needs to be done. Uh huh. What's going on, Ali? Hey, man. Hey, I appreciate that. Yes, I try to help as many guys as possible because I experienced life too, and I know what it's like to one day you go from everything's working to what? Let me explain, baby. It was have a headache. Yeah, I ain't like that. You're not gonna like that. Um, so when we're talking about energy, that means you have to constantly absorb the right type of energy. We're talking about, the energy that comes into us as humans is food, solids, liquid, of course, breathing, and sunlight. And of course, we're affected by gravity. So, when it comes to energy, we're absorbing that energy. And then when you go to sleep, that, especially high quality sleep, that's why you turn that energy potential into something that's for real. That's when things make the most sense. And when you exercise, if you have that energy potential, if your body's absorbed that energy correctly, your exercise is just better. It's easier. And when we're talking about intermittent fasting, that's always important because right now we're in a situation where people are eating constantly. The food is just always available, and if food is always available, you, you just consume it. And that you need to give your body a break so it can actually cleanse itself out. What people call starving is actually cleansing. Whenever somebody talks about a cleanse and they're going to start eating some food, I'm like, that the actual true cleanse is a fast. And when it comes to your soul, and when we talk about that meditation is serious, guys. You really want to make sure that you're able to take care of your brain. That's so really important. So yeah, guys, all of this counts when it comes to having your energy, the things that you need to do. And for those guys who are just joining us, this is Brian, aka Uncle B. We're here talking about men's sexual health and all the things that you need to do to get yourself better. You can go into the comment sections and ask me questions because this is what we do. This is what I do. I've been doing this for the past 25 years. I know a lot of things. And one of the things that when I'm doing coaching, I talk to guys about the things that they're missing. And that's the whole point of being a coach. It's about how to figure out what things that you need to dial in. All great, even not great basketball players, players, period. You have to have a coach because they're pointing out things that you may not know, may not have thought of. Because as a coach, I'm constantly getting information and I'm putting it together. And it's like, oh, when I'm speaking to someone, boom, that information comes out. So we do have a challenge going on. That should be in the comment section. And that is something that, it's the Wood on Demand Challenge, and you get information like this. You're able to use our ECS 25 program, the Exponential Energy program, that can help you a lot in terms of getting better, and especially when it comes to having that level of accountability. That's the most important thing. So we have a question about premature ejaculation. Do you want to be more specific? A couple of thoughts processes when it comes to premature ejaculation. One thing that, it's actually a compliment. It's like she's got you so turned on. It's like, oh, you just can't help yourself. So there's that, but that doesn't necessarily help you when you're just trying to have fun for longer. When it comes to premature ejaculation, one of the things that's sort of the two things. One, you should try Goodwood. Give goodwood.com. We got the 20% off. Use a coupon code challenge. But when you're using Goodwood, it actually helps with stamina. It increases your testosterone and your blood flow. And so we have a lot of guys who just use it for working out. Uh, Don Coolio, what's going on, man? You did. uh, when you're, you can use it for working out. And so the other thing I always say, this helps. Foreplay is for men. The more foreplay that you have, the more testosterone that you build up, the longer you can last. Now, it sounds sort of opposite because you think like, okay, I'm getting turned on. It's gonna help. If you're just let it ride, let it ride, just let it keep going. So that you can build up that testosterone so that you can have more stamina so you can last longer. That's the whole process with that. So I hope that answers that question on premature ejaculation. If you got any other questions, go ahead and drop that in the comment section. Um, and just letting you know, guys, we have a lot of information. If you go over to givegoodwood.com, we have information about coaching and all the other things that we do to help guys out. Um, and you can sign up for that over there. And we do have every Thursday. We have a video at 1 o'clock. In fact, we had one earlier today. What did we talk about today? What did we talk about today? Today we were talking about. Let's see. Ah, mastering lifelong erections. That's always a good one. Mastering lifelong erections. As you get older, things change, and you need to know that. So, if you subscribe, you should have got that notification. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead hit that subscribe note. Uh huh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, Don Coolio. A while the longer the foreplay, the longer you last. Good information. Yes, indeed. Yeah. There's some other small player pimpins techniques that you can use while having sex. One of the things that you can do is actually keep your socks on, because when you're having sex, it's sort of like when you take good wood or good wood advance, you can actually feel your hands and your feet getting cooler because the blood flow is going to the center of your body. That's why you get better erections because you have more blood flow there. But your body just naturally wants to send blood everywhere. So if your feet are cold, it's going to start sending blood flow to your feet and not keeping it in the center of your body. So that's another one right there. Man, I got a lot of them. In terms of something you can do, while engaged in sex, I call it priming the pump, and that's where you literally, you're taking your time. You have some women who are like, okay, once you got it in there and you got the groove going, they're like, go faster, go faster, go faster, go faster. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take your time. Was called priming the pump. It's actually just getting her ready. It's getting you ready too, but it's getting her ready so that when you start going faster, it's more of a feel. You're teasing to a point. You're teasing, so that works out well for you. Um, so yeah, that's the type of information that we have. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and please share it with your friends. We got a question here: how to keep your mind off of past failures? The best way is to keep your mind on the good times. The good times, yeah. Um, because that is a problem that can happen, especially if you've had bad incidences before. And what ends up happening, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you're thinking that way. And it's like, well, okay, she just came over. Am I hard yet? She took her clothes off. Am I hard yet? You're just constantly thinking about your erections, and you're stressing yourself. You're increasing your cortisol, which is an enemy of testosterone. I'm going to say enemy, but if you're stressed, which cortisol does, it causes stress. Then your testosterone goes down. You don't see guys in fights with erections unless you're on cocaine or something like that. Uh, but when it comes to having having strong erections, you don't want to have yourself stressed. So, think about the good times, and also don't worry about it. I mean, think about it when you didn't have this problem before, you didn't think about it. It was like, you just came over, you just had your fun and everything like that. But once again, engage in that foreplay. And that'll keep, once again, that testosterone going. It's the buildup. I mean, one of the issues that we have as a society is, as men, I was explaining this to a lady one time, and she was in shock, but it's something to think about. As men, we really don't touch people. unless you're into a particular, that's your job or whatever. But it's like, as the closest men get together, we do that pound, we get the arm in between, and get the hug. That's about it. Other than that, it's just a quick dap. That's about it. Handshake. That's about it. If we're hugging a woman, it better be our woman. We don't typically, outside of your immediate family, you're not running around hugging a lot of people. That's not the way men do. We don't even go up to, like, uh, uh, a woman would, like, be walking by a kid and just run up and hug her. You know, for us, that, yeah. You got to be careful nowadays. And also, for a woman, she could just go up to, another woman has a child. Is like, oh, look at the baby. Can I pick the baby up? Oh, sure, sure, yeah, yeah. Nah. That's not happening with the fellas. But yeah, can I pick your baby up? Why are you calling 911? Yeah, yeah. It's different. It's different. Huh. Mm. Coolio, you on one, man. You on. The comment section is ablaze, man. But yeah, guys. But yeah, I wanted to hop on, make sure you got that bit of information. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get more of this information that we're offering. One thing, just to let you know, we're having problems with YouTube. YouTube, like I said at the beginning, YouTube doesn't. Well, people have a problem with the kind of content we're talking about, so it becomes difficult. So I'm actually going to be going private. We'll be this information will be in Goodwood University. Probably won't be on YouTube as often, just because it's getting very difficult to expand on here. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for today. Once again, thank you for all the great questions. Thanks, Don. Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Ali. Appreciate every one of you, James. C. C. Jerome. All of y'all guys have a great one, and I will talk to you later. Peace out.